Hi guys, I'm Roshan Joshy. So today I'm going to explain task 2 of SRT 210. So moving on to the first slide, that is the index page. So today I will be discussing about Server 2019 installation steps, Hyper-V installation, configuration of nested Linux VM, network diagram, networking capabilities of Linux, difference between layer 2 and layer 3 in OSI model, ARP, that is address resolution protocol, daisy chain topology, mounting virtual hard disk, and choose some. I will be explaining some of the tools. So moving on to the first slide, it's about the installation of Server 2019 on VMware. So first download the ISO file of Server 2019 evaluation version from the Microsoft official website. So you can see the link here. The system requirements for installation is it should have 4 GB of RAM, 60 GB of hard disk space, and processor should be 2, and number of core processors should be 3. So for installation of Hyper-V on Server 2019, we have to enable one settings in VMware. So for that, click on VM, take the settings, click on processor, and here you have to. I have already done checkmark, so it's showing checkmark. So you have to enable virtualize Intel VT X/EPT. So after that, click OK and close the window. So next, you have to install Hyper-V. So today we are going to install Windows 10 inside Windows Server 2019 using the help of Hyper-V. For that, first we are going to install Hyper-V. For that, first click on Server Manager, then click on. So here you can see Hyper-V on the left pane. Since I have already installed, it is shown here. So to install Hyper-V, click on Add Roles and Feature. So here you can see, click Next, click select role-based or feature-based installation and click Next. Here you can select a server from the server pool and click Next. So here you can select Hyper-V. Since I have already installed Hyper-V, I cannot select it again. So click Next after that. Okay, then you will be having an installation button. I'm not having an installation button now because I have already installed Hyper-V. So after that, installation will be started. So after installation complete, first reboot your system. So after that, you have to download the Windows 10 ISO file from the Microsoft website. I have provided the link here. You can see the link here. Okay, then after that, click on Start, then select Server Manager, then click on Hyper-V, then click on right click on Win, then select Hyper-V Manager. So since I have already installed Windows 10 virtual machine inside Server 2019, you can see here. So to create new virtual machine, right click on bin and select new and select virtual machine from there. Okay, then click next and here you can give the name of the virtual machine. If you click on this, you can store the virtual machine to a different location. If you click, I will show you. If you click here, you can click browse and select the destination. Okay, from here, click generation 1 and click next. Here you can set the startup memory, that is the RAM. I am giving next. Here you can select the network adapter. I'm giving next for that. Here you can give the space, just give 30 GB. Okay, here I'm giving the second option, that is install an operating system from bootable CD or DVD-ROM. So here I'm getting two options. So I'm selecting the second option, image file. So and from browse I'm selecting the Windows ISO file that I have downloaded before. Okay, after that click on next. When you click finish, your virtual machine will be created. Then you can do the configuration of Windows 10. You will be, after clicking right clicking the Windows, you can click start to the virtual machine. So you will be able to run Windows 10 inside Server 2019 using Hyper-V. Next, I'm going to talk about the nested installation of Linux VM. So first you have to install CentOS 8, and as you can see, the configuration requirements are 4 GB of RAM, 60 GB of disk space, processor number should be 2, and core processor should be 3. So do the installation configuration of CentOS 8 and open the CentOS 8 in VMware. So after installing CentOS 8, or the CentOS 8, so now I'm going to log in. Sorry. Okay, now I'm logged in. So to do nested virtualization, you have to do some commands inside CentOS 8, so which make the system enabled for virtualization. So for that, I'm going to root user. I'm going to type the root password, and you have to type this command. First, you have to type the command yum install qemu kvm space libvirt space virt manager space libvirt client. So after that, press enter. Okay, since I've already installed, it will be shown for me like this. So next, you have to install. You have to type the command sudo yum group install virtualization client. So since I'm not in the root, I'm using yum group install virtualization client. So I'm pressing enter. So here you have to press Y and press enter. Okay, that step is complete. So next step you have to do is type the command systemcl start libvirt d. So after that you have to do systemcl enable liberty. So after that your system is ready for virtualization. So now we can start making VMs. For that, you have to click show applications and go to virtual machine manager. So here you have to log in with your Linux password. Here you can see my 3 Linux VMs that I have made using virtual machine manager. So click on file and click on new virtual machine. Here click on local install media, that is ISO image or CD-ROM. Click on forward. From here click on browse and select the ISO file. Click on browse local. Here you can see that I have downloaded the ISO file of Debian 9, so I'm clicking that and clicking open. So you have to unmark, uncheck, and you have to type the command, type the version of the ISO that you have downloaded. So I have downloaded Debian 9, so I'm typing Debian. So you can see that when I typed up to DEP, it showed Debian 9, so I'm selecting Debian 9 and clicking forward. Here you can give the memory, so I'm giving only 1 GB, and here you can give the CPU. So here you can give the disk space. So for I'm giving only 18.5. So after clicking finish, your system VM will be made. After that you can configure your VM. So since I've already made, I'm not going up to there. So I have made 3 Linux VMs. Okay, then I'm moving on to the next topic, that is CentOS 8 NAT adapter. So here, as you can see, uh, my CentOS is having NAT adapter, and Debian 9 it is having bridge adapter. Then Debian 9 2 it is having private network, and Debian 9 clone 1 it is having hosted network. So these 3 Linux VM depend on CentOS 8 for network connection. So I'm going to illustrate that. So if CentOS 8 is not having internet connection, both these three VMs will not be having internet connection. They are connected each other. So as you have seen before in Windows Server 2019 also I have used NAT adapter. So inside that I have made Windows 10 using Hyper-V. So in Windows 10 I have used host-only network. So here you can see my three VMs. So this VM is already running. So I'm typing the command ping 1.1.1. This shows that I have internet connection in my VM. So I'm going to check the network. For this, I have given private network. Okay. Then for this Debian, I have given host-only network. That is bridge network. I have given bridge network for this Debian. So and the next Debian, I have given host-only network. So now I'm going to talk about the subtask one, that is about network capabilities of Linux OS and the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 in OSI model, ARP protocol, and decision topology. So let's talk about network capabilities of Linux OS. So network support in Linux is more compared to other operating systems. It can be connected by TCP or IP, Ethernet, fast Ethernet, ATM, etc. So Linux has built up a strong set of networking capabilities, including networking tools for providing and managing routing, bridging, DNS, DHCP, network troubleshooting, virtual networking, and network monitoring. So here you can see the 7 layers of OSI model. So first layer is the physical layer, second layer is the data link layer, third layer is the network layer, fourth layer is transport layer, fifth layer is the session layer, sixth layer is the presentation layer, and seventh is the application layer. Here we are talking about the difference between layer 2 and layer 3. So layer 2 is the data link layer and layer 3 is the network layer. So data link layer works with physical addressing, whereas in layer 3, that is network layer, works with logical addressing and contains the address of source and destination. So the difference between switch in layer 2 and layer 3 is that switch works with MAC addresses in layer 2, and whereas in layer 3 switch is capable of having IP address and doing routing for intra-plan communication. It uses the MAC address table. For extra-plan communication, it uses the IP routing. So layer 2 is used to reduce the traffic on local network. So uh, layer 3 is mostly used to implement virtual local area network. So the main difference between layer 2 and layer 3 is that layer 2 uses MAC address and layer 3 uses both IP addresses and MAC addresses. So now I'm going to talk about address resolution protocol. So let's talk about that. First, what is ARP? The address resolution protocol feature performs a required function in IP routing. ARP finds the hardware address, also known as MAC address, of a host from its known IP address. So ARP maintains a cache in which the MAC address are mapped to IP addresses. So ARP belongs to data link layer. So ARP is necessary because the underlying Ethernet hardware communicates using Ethernet addresses and not with IP addresses. So let's talk about how ARP works. So consider two computers, computer A and computer B. Computer A having IP address 192.168.99.1 and computer B having IP address 192.168.99.2. So MAC address of computer A is triple R and MAC address of computer B is triple J. So computer A is connected to computer B using an Ethernet, that is local area network. So computer A want to send a packet to computer B. For that, computer A is sending a request to computer B, such as hi computer B, I'm computer A, and my IP address is so, and my MAC address is this. So can you please provide your MAC address? So this message gets saved in the ARP table of computer B. So computer B in return a reply to computer A saying that yeah, I'm ready to give my MAC address, and this is my address, and this is my MAC address. So this gets saved in the ARP table of computer A, and ARP table in computer A, and computer A finds this information and sends the IP packet successfully to computer B. So let's talk about daisy chain topology. So let's first we can discuss what is a daisy chain. A daisy chain is the simple computer network. So it is the easiest way to add more Ethernet devices into a network. So in this diagram, three Linux VM are shown, that is CentOS 8, Debian, and Debian 2. So first is having NAT network, second is having bridge network, and third is having private network. So from first to second it is connected, and second to third it is connected. But in daisy chain topology means that network computers connected in series. So first will be having, even though they are having different network adapters, first will be having connection to second, and second will be having to connection to third, and vice versa. But first will not be having connection to third. So discussing about the subtask 2, that is nested virtualization, snapshot, conversion between different virtual disk format, and explanation about the tools. So first we are going to talk about nested virtualization. Nested virtualization refers to virtualization that runs inside an already virtualized environment. In other words, its the ability to run a hypervisor inside of a virtual machine, which is itself runs on a hypervisor. With nested virtualization, you are effectively nesting a hypervisor within a hypervisor. So we have done nested virtualization in Server 2019 and in Linux. So basically, nested virtualization means running a VM. Nested virtualization means like uh, in a host computer running an operating system using VM, and in that VM running another operating system using hypervisor or any kind of other VMs, such as for example, so my laptop is Windows 10, so I use VMware to run Server 2019. So inside Server 2019, I have used Hyper-V to run Windows 10. So talking about snapshot, what is a snapshot? So a VMware snapshot is a copy of the virtual machine disk file at a given point in time. Snapshots provide a change log for virtual disk and are used to restore a VM to a particular point in time when failure or system error occurs. How to take snapshot? Just right click, and there you can see the option snapshot, then click on take snapshot. Here you can give the names, and you can give the description, and description is optional. You can give the name and click take snapshot. So this will save the current state of your VM. So then there is an option to take the snapshot that you have captured before. So from here click on snapshot, and here there is an option like revert to snapshot 3. If you click on that, this will take you to current state of the virtual machine when you have taken that snapshot. So it can be used as a backup. um, so let's move on to the next topic, that is conversion between different virtual disk formats. For that you have to use Darwin V2V converter. In this guide we will be converting a local.vstx virtual disk virtual drive that was used in Microsoft Hyper-V into a format such as .bsd so that the thread can be loaded into a virtual machine in virtual. For example, mm, if you create a virtual machine in VMware, the file it gets saved in a file format which only VMware could analyze. So we cannot load that file into VirtualBox. So in this kind of situation, we use Starwin V2V converter. This helps you to convert the file format so that the VMware that you have made using VMware, the virtual machine that you have made using VMware can be loaded into VirtualBox also. Here you can select click local file, then click next. Here you can select the file that you have to convert. Okay, I'm selecting this one. I have already converted. So I'm clicking this. I click next. Then I have to give location of destination image. So after that I have to click next. So if you click vmdk, the file format will be changed, which can be recognized by virtual machine. If you change it to VHD or VHDX, it can be loaded into VirtualBox. So now I have selected a file format which only Hyper-V could recognize. So I am giving it VMTK so that virtual machine also can recognize the file. So I'm clicking next. So after that, if you click convert, it will be converted. Since I'm not having much memory, since I have already done before and I'm not having much memory, I'm not doing this now. Then you can load that in your VMware. So next topic is mounting virtual disk. So mm, for that, I'm going to file mounting virtual disk in VMware. So first I click on file, then I click on map virtual disk. Here I have to click on map. Here I can give the file. I can select any file and I can give the trial letter from here and then press OK to mount. So going to the PowerPoint. To mount a VMTK file in read-only mode, we can use this command such as vmware mount.exe. X is the drive letter. So and this is the path. So if you have more than one partition, we can use this command. In this, we can use this command. So I'm moving on to the tools. So first tool is IP command. So IP command is a powerful tool for configuring network interfaces that any Linux system administrator should know. It can be used to bring interfaces up or down, assign and remove addresses and routes, and manage ARP cache and much more. So IP addresses can be used for a variety of things like to bring the interface up or down. So I'm going to open this. Here if I type IP address, like to add an IP address, I can type the command IP address and then I can type one IP address 192.168.99.1. Save Okay, to know the interface, I will type ipvra. So here you can see the name, that is enp1s0. To add IP address, I am giving the command IP address add 192.168.99.1 enp1s0. Okay. Uh, okay. enp10. So to add IP address, I type IP address add 192.168.99.1 dev enp1 is 0. So the IP address is added. So to delete the IP address, I can type. So before it was not working because I haven't given the name. Type the full command, that is IP address add 192. That should be the IP address that you are giving now, and dev is the stands for device, then the device name. So I can delete the IP address by typing IP address delete 192.168.99.1, then dev enp1s0. Okay, now it got deleted. So next I'm going to bring the interface down. So IP link set dev enp1s0 down. So that command worked. So now I will not be having internet connection. I'm trying to ping. So network is unreachable. So if I give this instead of down up, my interface is up. So I will have internet connection. So now it's not showing since I changed my IP address. So moving on to the next tool, that is tcpdump. So I'll be using this command. This is exactly like wireshark. So to capture packets, IP network traffic. So it is a command line utility that allows you to capture and analyze network traffic going through your system. It is often used to help troubleshoot network issues as well as security tool. It is ideal to run in remote servers or devices for which a graphical user interface is not available. So here in sender side, I'm going to type the command tcpdump. Okay, now I am going to my root user, otherwise my permission will be denied. So now I am in the root user, typing tcpdump. So now it is capturing the packets, so it will take time. So I'm canceling this. Now it's 0 packets captured because I have cancelled it immediately. It will take approximately 1 to 2 minutes. So then I'm moving on to the next command, that is ping command, so that I will show it in my host computer. So ping command is used to verify that the computer has internet or no. So whether the computer have internet connection. So we can test in my computer. So I'm taking command prompt. Here I'm typing the command ping 1.1.1. So this shows that I have internet connection. So ping command can be used to show whether your system have internet connection. So route command. Using route command displays or modifies the computer's routing table for a typical computer that has a single network interface and is connected to a local area network that has a router. The routing table is pretty simple and is often the source of network problems. It is used with IP command. IP route command is used in static routing protocol. It is defined route path of network IP address and subnet and gateway manually. So it is used to provide the route information of router. So route command can be used to give a gateway address, such as we can use route command with IP. So if you type IP route add default via, here you can type the gateway address that this should follow. So moving on to the next, it is wireshark. Okay, wireshark is an open source tool for profiling network traffic and analyzing packets. Such a tool is often referred to as network analyzer, network protocol analyzer, or sniffer. So wireshark is basically used to capture traffic. So I'm going to use wireshark and show you how. So I'm taking wireshark. Wireshark is already installed in my desktop. It will take time. Okay, I am going to click on Ethernet and I'm going to start capturing traffic. Now it's not done. Let me, yeah, it started to capture the traffic. If I clicked on Google Chrome, you could see the traffic. I'm going to stop the traffic. Here you could see the traffic that it had caught. So it is actually used to capture the traffic, and you can filter the traffic. Like if you give HTTP, it will show only HTTP protocols. So here it is having so many ARP, DNS, many protocols are running. If in this box you can filter the traffic. Now it doesn't have any HTTP. So moving on to the next. So I'm getting it without saving. So moving on to the next command, that is ipconfig. So ipconfig is a fast way of determining your computer's IP address and other information such as the address of its default gateway. Useful if you want to know the IP address of your router's web interface. To use the command, just type ipconfig at the command prompt. So we are going to use the command ipconfig. So I'm clicking command prompt and I'm going to type ipconfig. So this shows me the IPv6 address, then the Wi-Fi address, and it's showing my default gateway, subnet mask, then It basically shows the information, like here you can see like Ethernet adapter, VirtualBox hostly network. So you can get all the information about your subnet mask, default gateway, and all other things. So next we are going to talk about libvirt. Libvirt is a C toolkit to interact with virtualization capabilities of recent version of Linux. So actually talking about libvirt command, we have actually used this before. You can see it in for the installation of nested Linux VMs. We have already used this command libvirt. We have installed libvirt package. We have used both qemu, kvm, and libvirt together. We have installed all these packages together in the computer. So moving on to the next tool, that is qemu. Qemu is a processor emulator that we are using to boot and run the Linux. qemu by itself is a type 2 hypervisor. It acts like a hypervisor, so it interprets the instruction mean for virtual CPU and uses the host operating system to get those instructions executed on physical CPU. So talking about the next tool, that is KVM, converts Linux into a type 1 hypervisor. So all hypervisor needs some operating system level components such as memory manager, process schedule, input or output stack, device drivers, security manager, a network stack, and more to run VM. So qemu, libvirt, KVM basically helps in virtualization for Linux to run another VM. So these three packages support our Linux supports the system for virtualization basically. So thank you guys. Now we are done with our session. So